Alright, y'all, what's the word? What's the word? You know what I mean? Y'all know what time it is. Basically, I'm trying to drop some knowledge on this whole George Floyd, you know what I mean? Rest in peace to his family and that everything, you know what I mean? Because on the real, like, we know boys like him. Like, when I look at him, like, damn, he remind me of this particular guy that I grew up in my neighborhood, and he looks like certain people that I've been around, and we busted up, whether it was on the job, whether I was on my job, and there was cats that looked like him and that remind me of him. You know what I mean? Real tall, big dude, cool. You know what I mean? Talk to you. He was on his. He went out, partied, but he was on his. Getting his little money, getting his thing. Living life, just doing what he wanted to do. He remind me of boys that I talk to. You know what I mean? Yo, what's up, hot? What's going on, brother? How you been? Like, he just remind me of cats that I seen. So it hits home because you like that. I know this guy. You don't know him, but you know guys like that. So, but now this is where we at. We here, and a lot of this stuff that we talking about is relevant. But I gotta add some insight on what are we really going to do? How do we really turn this thing around? What does the change really look like? Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. It's me. I'm about to give you some knowledge and the stuff that I was jotting down when I'm looking at all of these CNNs and I'm hearing people talk. You know what I mean? So, let me see what I said right here. I said, all right, so I'm looking at CNN, right? And people asking these questions like, well, yo, how we gonna make change and how we gonna do the change and what we gotta do to change the situation, and people coming up with their thing. They came up with cameras on cops and they come up with all these things. And I'm going, none of that ain't gonna work if you don't teach the people about black culture. Now, you gotta look at what people like Farrakhan and Elijah Muhammad been saying for years. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't gonna really you could vote or you could do these things, but if you're not gonna really show the people and really help the people sustain their life so they could be independent, free of your society that want to control us and have us be your way, it ain't gonna work. You can't have an American society and say, okay, the black people, we're just going to have you do everything like we do. We're not the same. It's not going to happen. We're not the same. People say, oh, I don't want to be looked at as a black man. I want to be looked at as a man. I do too, but I do love the fact that I'm black. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, if you like, I like it. I grew up the way I grew up, the culture and the way I grew up. Did I grow up poor? Yeah, we grew up poor. Yes. Did I grew up in a poor neighborhood down the bottom, 42nd and Ogden? Yes. Yeah. All right. You know what I mean? Yes, I did. But I like the way I got brought up. You know what I'm saying? I like that I got in fights with certain people, seen that certain people be hating, seen that certain people love. Fights that I got in with homies. It's just part of the togetherness. But I seen togetherness. When hip hop first started. When hip hop first started, all of us in the neighborhood, it was new to us. You had DJs coming in the park. We got together. This is part of being together. Let me make you understand this. When you do a flyer because you decide you have a party, and then you go, yo, so-and-so, you the graffiti boy. All right, you do the graffiti man. You say who's going to be there. You say how much it costs to get in. 50 cents at the door. We're going to have drinks. And we had a DJ around the way, Dante. He was the DJ. What's up, Dante? He was the DJ. He would be the DJ at the joint, you know what I mean? Or you might have had the boy from Trevor, from B-Force, Trevor Flash. You know what I'm saying? He was the DJ. That was unity. We got together. We were the promoters, or whoever was the promoters. Anybody. I'm just picking randomly. You know what I mean? That's my phone, but I ain't gonna get that right now. But this is what togetherness look like. So if you wanna, when you get together, do a show, you fill out you do the flyer the way you want, And then you go and get the people that you know has the music speakers, turntables, all the different things you need to start a party. You get together with your people to do the food. All right, we're going to have, whether it's just simple food. We ain't nobody vegetarians yet. We just young boys wilding. Hot dogs, soda, chips, you know what I mean? And then you start putting out the word. You word of mouth, or you passing out flyers around the neighborhood. Yo, we going to have this, we going to have this. Woo. And then people come to the jam. They come fresh to death. They got their gold on. They got their Lees. They got their sneakers on. They got their Adidas, shell toes, whatever the thing was at that time. Sheepskins, whatever they had on at the time. They goggles if it was during the breakdance era, whatever it was. I'm just paraphrasing it all together. But that's unity. Like, people forget about that. That's black people doing stuff together. Back during the 80s in hip hop. You got to understand that that's unity. Don't look at it like, oh, we got to start $1 million business. No, that's unity. So what does unity look like? It looks like black people getting for an event. Black people get together for birthday parties. Black people get together to sell products together. Black people get together to do shows. Black people get together to have talks and discussions on black this, black that. College kids that's black get together and have their own little coalitions and stuff of that nature, and talking about issues, how they can even use any type of means to come together to talk about black issues in their college. Okay, black people getting together for these protests. There's black people doing it. Is white people involved? Of course, there's white people involved. Now they see, a lot of white people see certain things, which gets to my point. If you really want to see what it is that we need as far as black people, and you're white and you're helping and you're part of the protest, it goes beyond the protest. How does that look? I'm going to tell you. So, for example, here we go. I was looking at CNN, right? Right? I'm reading. That's why I'm going over this. About that act of good deed. They are marching together. All right. So, the interviewer asked one of these police chiefs. He's a police chief that was actually, I forget his name. I'm not really going to go into that. But he was out there shaking hands, and he was among the people during the protest, right? And he's interacting, and he's doing it. And that's good. That's a good thing. But how do we take it further? You know what I mean? He's marching together and stuff like that. So how does that look by taking it further? Okay. He's having conversations, and he says one thing that comes out to me. I'm gonna wait till that stop ringing. All right. So the person asked him about, well, we gotta look at white parents and what do they say to their kids, and what do they do to their kids, and how do they talk to them? I'm going, one, okay, talking is over. You know, hey, this is about racism. Now it's go beyond racism. What we really got to do on the strength, we got to start showing you our culture, showing you who we are as a people. So white people, black people, you got to start showing, if you in the suburbs, maybe if you see a black family, go in and introduce yourself. Let them know how you feel about Floyd. And then go, yo, I want to know about you. I want you to know about me. But what is my best approach to find out about what it is that you really like? Not the culture that we developed and you're trying to survive in this culture that we created. Because America did create a white culture in a sense by utilizing all bits or pieces of other culture, and it turned into a kind of American culture. But what does the culture for black people in America look like? How many cultures is it? We have multiple cultures. We got so many different religions. Let's start with the religions. You got Sunni Muslims. Let's start with the Baptist Church. You got Episcopal black people. You got people that's Nuwapians. You got people that's 5%ers. You got people that's Nation of Islam, which is a big a big thing in our communities. Now you got people that are a Jehovah's Witness. You got all these different levels. You got Israelites. You got all these. You got a Saracet Society in Philadelphia. You got all these different cultures. So to me personally, I'm going, no, this is what needs to happen. These cultures need to be expressed on national television every day, 24 hours a day. Find out about that 5%er. Why did he become a 5%er, which is derived from the Nation of Islam? Why did this person become a Sunni? Why did this black people? I'm not talking about. I'm talking about black culture. Find out why. But when you're on that journey, we need to put this on national networks. Okay, I'm going far as to say you need to be showing Farrakhan on TV all the time. National TV. Oh, he's hate. He's this. No, he ain't. He's only his. Our stuff is always a response to what happens to us in America. If you really want to fix this problem, you can't just say, oh, we have to talk. Talking is over. Forget the talk. Now we got to put it in motion. This is what you're saying you want, right? Okay. So let's make a change in our schooling. Not only when I say make a change and I'm schooling, we got to go beyond teaching it. We got to show it. All right. You got to show what it looks like. Teach rappers, teach about the everyday person, the publisher, the scholar, the comic book guy in your neighborhood, the guy that does karate in your neighborhood, the guy that hustles phones in your neighborhood, that hustles oils in your neighborhood, the nerdy black person, the educated black person that's educated in engineering. Guarantee if you go to any of these major corporations and you find a corporation that let's say their business is engineering, bet you they have a black person working there that's an engineer. Go and find out about that engineer and interview him on TV. Interview the guy in your neighborhood that sells oil. Put him on CNN and interview him about his life and why he started selling oils. I bet you find something interesting in that. Interview the black guy that's an engineer. Interview him 24 hours a day, let's say for the next 100 years on national TV. This is things that we have to do to change the scope of what does black America look like? What does it taste like? What does it feel like? Who are the black people? Stop with this, oh, we have to do this and we have to fix it by getting those policemen out. Yeah, you got to get the policemen out, but you got to teach them about true black culture first. And then if they don't want to learn it and they being assholes, then okay, you don't need them in the police department. All right, you don't need. So these are the beginnings of what we need to do. Rappers, I think rappers, if you take rappers and really listen to them and interview them on major stations and major streaming, you will begin to see who these people really are. Hold on. All right, we back. So major rappers, like I said, you gotta interview them. You know what I mean? Black people, DJs. We got DJs in our culture. DJs, interview those DJs, talk to them, see why they do what they do. You got Jazzy Judd, DJ Cash Money, DJ Questlove, Rich Medina, Ron G, Wu Kid. All these DJs are different. They play different types of music. They come from different backgrounds. You got DJs, black DJs that only mainly hang around like interesting people. A lot of DJs that hang around white people, Asian people, and they don't even hang with cats in the hood. You got DJ Drama, who is around around a lot of hip hop people. King Britt plays house music. He's around a lot of people that play house music and interesting people. You got DJ Jazzy Jeff, Cash Money, Rich Medina, Manny Fresh. He hangs around probably more black people. You got local DJs. Local DJs that came up in my era was DJ Trevor Flash. You got DJs that were major in the B Force. You know what I'm saying? These are DJs that were doing it in our neighborhood. So they mainly be around black folks in the neighborhood. So they culture is in more oriented local DJism around these neighborhoods. Who are they? Who is the black girl that puts out comic books? Maybe she likes comic books. Who's the black boy that builds computers or he know how to build computers and show you how he went to college? Who is he? What does he do? How does his life look? You got black executives. You got black people that work in the government. What are they thinking? Who are they? What is their thoughts? You got the black boy that he just go around hustling t-shirts. Or you got the black girl that owns a salon. Of course you got the barbershops. Of course you got the lawyers. We have those things. But what does their life look like? You got black people that's pro-black, that's putting out pro-black stuff. They really hardcore pro-black people. Who are they? Why are they so, hype on being all black, everything, no white, nothing? You got to look at them too. You can't just decide, okay, we want this type of blacks because they're safe with us. No, you got to go in, bruh. We can't be half-stepping. No, you want to learn about this? And when you begin to learn about other black people culture, then you can begin to change the scope of the policing, to change the scope of jobs, and change the scope of commercials on TV. Now we're not just getting one type of black. Okay, we're going to get this black because he looks a certain way and he can play the American game. No, we ain't playing American white game. We're not doing that. We're going to play the American black game. What does that look like? So let's be 100 with ourselves. You know what I mean? Let's stop this notion. You know what I mean? Because I keep going to hip hop because I'm into hip hop, but also I know enough about our black ethos and our diaspora that I could talk about those and I intertwine them because everybody had this one set way of being. No, I'm pro-black and I only talk about this black stuff. And I call that's the top 40 black person. I only talk about civil rights. I only talk about the educated black stuff. No, I'm talking about it all this black stuff. You know what I mean? So what does the black vegetarian cooker look like? What does the black comfort food person look like? What do they know? What is it that they know? Is it just food that they know about? They probably know more about politics than you realize. They probably know more about the Nation of Islam than you realize. Probably know more about Judaism, probably know more about engineering, probably know more about putting books together, fixing electronics, anything. They probably know about paving roads and controlling counties and communities. They probably know more about this stuff than you know. So that is what we have to get in scope. That is what we have to bring to the forefront. You got to bring the black culture to the forefront. We got to stop playing. Let me just read you something. You know me, I'm big on these books. This is the Gucci Mane book. And I'm going to read something about Gucci Mane that y'all probably don't even know about the brother. Let's go into this right here, man. Where I want to go. Since this is Gucci Mane. This is Gucci Mane as a kid. Let me go in it. Since in kindergarten back in Alabama, school had been easy for me because my mama was a teacher, right? She taught me how to read young, and I took to it quickly, my fault. At Sunday school, the teachers were in awe that I was able to read and recite scriptures from the Bible. So when I did enroll in kindergarten at Jonesboro Elementary, I was way ahead of my peers. I finished my work before anyone else. I was praised by being a good student, but I knew it was because my mama had given me a head start. I carried over the early advantages as I continue my education in Atlanta, right? So look at that. Gucci Mane always talks about that. He ain't had problems in school. He was ahead, even though when he went into hustling and all that, he was quick at it because he knew the game. He knew the economic powers of money and demand and stuff like that. And then he did take it and go into the music business. And because he was smart, he got with other smart people. Now look at this. This is a guy that he got with. This is one of the guys he good. You know what I mean? That. So I'm going into the middle of this book. He met this guy by the name of Big Cat. But look how he met him. Check it out. And look how these people exist that you don't even know. Some of y'all might know because you're in hip hop, but I'm talking about other people that don't really delve into these rappers like Gucci Mane. You might only listen to Common, or you might only listen to Public Enemy. You're not me. I listen to all of them, and I'm in debt. I'm in with what they doing because I love it all. But let me read this. Jacob wasn't sold on doing a deal with the majors anymore either. That's his partner, Gucci Mane's partner, one of his partners that he dealt business, and they trying to get their record. They try to make a deal with a bigger record label, but they decided not to do it because them jokers, they knew it was their gain, and they knew it was the major record label's gain and not their gain. So Jacob wasn't sold on doing a deal with the majors anymore either. He didn't feel they understood the southern rap scene and was concerned that I'd be mismanaged as an artist under a New York-based label. So when we got back to Atlanta, Jacob set up a meeting with a small local independent label named Big Cat Recordings. Big Cat was Marlon Rowe. This man was fat as hell, right? This is imagine, you know these boys, right? Well, over 300 pounds, damn, right? He was a friend of Jacob's from New York, but was from Kingston, Jamaica, and had spent a good portion of his time in Fort Lauderdale. As funny looking as this dude was, I quickly gathered he was no dummy and sensed he'd been in the streets prior to the music game. Cat was a street dude and a millionaire, but he wasn't the type to tell you all about it. He flew under the radar, reserved and quiet, but a very smart, savvy, independent businessman. These are people that exist in our black culture. You know what I mean? Whether you from Caribbeans, Jamaica, whatever, or you are American black person that grew up like myself in a ghetto or in America in general. We come from down south. Down south comes from the part of the southern part of Africa, Sierra Leone, all these places, Liberia. So it's easy for us to find our roots. I'm from with my papa and them and my mom and them. A lot of them came from down south. So most likely we part of the Gala thing. And I know how to figure to narrow it down because our family was in South Carolina, Georgia, all them places along the Gala people that came over, Geechee, they might say. You know what I'm saying? So you could pinpoint your stuff, but it's so many levels of us as people you got to learn about it all. So see what I mean when I'm talking about really know about the rappers you're around. They're not is what you think. And this stuff, to me, has to be projected on a major level because this changes the scope. We going back to our motto and our police of what do you have to do. This helps change the scope of looking at us as a cultured people, and we are different breed and culture within America. And America has their own culture, a white culture that they keep projecting to. I hate that my voice went down like that because I should be able to say that with no problem. But the white culture is something in America that they keep trying to push on us. They do it through commercials. They only show one style people do commercials. The narrative from CNN people, 29, CBS, NBC, they always asking these questions to stir up all these racial situations instead of going, what do we have to do? They're always saying, what do we got to do? I'm telling you what to do. This is what you have to do. You have to show the humanisticness of, or is that a word? I don't know. You got to show our culture, who we are as the people overall, constantly, every day, 24 hours a day, and you gotta show, not tell. You gotta involve our culture in everyday life. You know, that's why I go off when they just say, oh, peaceful protest, this protest. No, these kids wilding out because you don't show who they are as people. So forget you. All right, yeah. Of course they're not going to be educated in a certain way if they're not seeing their culture expressed. And I'm not talking about what you think their culture is. Show what their culture is, from the good to the bad, to the mediocre, to the in the middle, to the gray areas, to the white areas, to the all areas. You understand? I got more for you, baby. It's coming. But get this book, Gucci Mane, the Autobiography of Gucci Mane. I got a million of them. What's going on? Hot blast, man. What we really gonna do to make change because of George Floyd. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to his family, everybody that's out there protesting, even the young boys out there wilding out, doing their thing, bro. We know why you're doing it. We get it, you know what I'm saying? Boom, tell your story, you know what I mean? Put a mask on, hide your face. Turn your voice so nobody can't see you or know where you coming from. Send it through another via situation, but tell your story, you know what I mean? Say why you doing what you doing, you know what I mean? Tell it in a way without incriminating yourself or without getting caught up. Y'all smart. Nerd person, if you a nerd or the person that's the smart, or the black person from the suburbs, tell your black story. You know, everyone tell their black story, but this is what I want America, the mainstream corporate America do. Put it on mainstream media. Put it on there for real. Stop playing. Let's get it. If you really want to make change, if you really want these cops to really turn things around, this is what we got to do. And that's just my overall. I got a million of them, baby. Let's go.